Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Talking with E, where we like to discuss and highlight some of the most interesting people and events around town. I'm your host, Edith Thomas, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the newly appointed Committeewoman, Sandra Terrell. Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I love to get these new faces, and this was a face I've been dying to have on my show.
That's great to hear.
Yes, because we're always at different events, but we never have to have time to do a full conversation.
Right.
And now I put you in the hot seat.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And I just hope I can answer all your questions.
Oh, most definitely can.
Yeah.
So we'll just dive straight into it because I know a lot of people are curious. Who is Sandra? Who is Committeewoman Terrell? So why don't you give us a brief description of your professional background?
So, a brief description. I've been in the healthcare industry for a very long time, and honestly, let me step back. I want to start with my education because I am a lifelong resident of Union.
I love.
I was born here. I have deep roots here. I am a product of the Union public school system. Went to college, came back, and I started out in the healthcare industry because I thought it was interesting and thought it was something I could do. So I moved in to that space. Initially, I worked on the medical side, medical and hospital side. I eventually moved into the pharmacy side, so the pharmaceutical side.
Okay.
And now I am currently employed full-time at Delta Dental of New Jersey, so that's the dental side.
Okay.
And actually, on the dental side, we actually sell vision. So I feel like from a healthcare perspective, I've made a complete circle. I've touched every product and things that are important to people, right, from a healthcare perspective, the things that people need, the insurance that they need. So I feel like I'm well-rounded in the healthcare space. So that's me. That's kind of, and it's been a long road. It's been years and years and years. I'll say that. I won't give myself away, but it's been years.
So I won't ask my follow-up question of how long.
But I will say it's been over 30 years.
Oh,
and I'd also like to add that I am married. I do have 2 children, and my children are also products of the Union Public School System. So I'm very proud of that as well.
Oh, love to hear that. So just for a personal question, what inspired you to get into the medical field? Like, that is not a field that people find interesting. And you said it with ease.
And so I think that it can be very interesting.
Okay.
And I think people on the outside maybe don't know that there's so many layers to working in that industry. It's not just about being a physician or being a nurse or being that type of professional. There's a lot of other things that have to happen to make all those systems work. So when I graduated college, I'm from the generation where our parents said, get a job. And so that's what I did. I found myself at, and I'll say Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. I found myself there. And there were so many different opportunities available.
Okay.
I started out as a customer service rep because I just needed a job. And those opportunities presented themselves.
They did.
And I found things that I was interested in. And so I continued on that path. And as I grew in that industry, I just continued to go and I continued to find different opportunities to learn new things. And I will say one of the things that's really important for me is to keep learning and growing. So, once I get bored in an area, I like to take on something new. And that's what I did for my entire career. So, so that's how I got in. And that's how I stayed for so long, because of the opportunity.
I love that. And just coming from this generation, so to speak, a lot of us are like, okay, well, just get a job so you can get a job. And then you don't necessarily have to stay in that job. But I love that you got that job so you could get a job. And you were like, wait,
right,
I actually enjoy this. I can learn from this and I can do more with this. Right. So I do appreciate that because I feel like a lot of children, teenagers, college goers, they need to hear that. They need to hear that.
They do need to hear that. And the one thing that I will add, and I only bring this up because of, working at Delta Dental now, we just hired a class of customer service reps. And I know sometimes people think, oh, I don't want to be a customer service rep. It's a difficult job. It's one of the most difficult jobs that people can do. But it is a great foundation. And so I think it's important for people to know and understand that it's a foundation and it can take you to a lot of different places, not just customer service.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Love that.
yeah, so
I hope you guys are listening. Definitely. Okay, so as the year advances rather quickly, I would say.
very quickly.
Next month, we're going to be in like half the year, so it's ridiculous to even think that.
Yeah.
But we continue to look forward to progression and improvement.
Yeah.
So within the town. So what are your anticipations as the new member of the Township Committee?
So, there are a couple of things that I think are really important to me. And they may sound very basic, but I don't think they are. I think it's important to me, and I think it's important to other people that live in the community. Traffic and green space.
Major.
Union is a great town, and I can attest to that. I believe that in my heart. If I didn't believe it, I would not still be here.
Exactly.
So I believe that in my heart, and I believe that the town does a lot of great things for the community, for the members of our community. We have a lot of people that are coming to this area, and it is creating a lot of traffic, a lot of, there's a lot of car accidents, there's just a lot going on. So if there's a way to improve that, so that maybe people who are commuting can get home in 20 minutes instead of 40 minutes.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. And I try to bring that up in a lot of our meetings just so that it stays in the focus. And then green space, right? Because we're not at work all the time. And we want to enjoy our lives outside of work, right? And not just in our backyards. And, we all travel through the state. We all see what's going on in other towns, and there's a lot of good things that's happening in the state. And again, I don't want anyone to think that there's nothing happening in Union, because there is.
There's a lot
going on there. And there's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes to help improve. But I think there could be more. And so that's one of the other things that I think is important to focus on, because I think our residents would appreciate it.
That they would.
So those are the two things right now that I would say that I'm most passionate about. Now that could change over time, right? Because priorities change, but
and life evolves.
And life evolves. So, but I think those are the two things that are top of mind for me right now.
Yeah, and I could definitely appreciate that, because as you said, with traffic and everything evolving, I know just the other day, I don't know how long ago, but the bridge above Chestnut, that's moving faster than we expected. Something that caused a lot of traffic is now we see the work, we see what it's doing. So I completely agree with that.
Yep. It takes time, but we'll get there.
I love that. It does take time, but we're definitely getting there. Okay, well, we are just diving in, guys. So please do not go anywhere, because we will be back with Committeewoman Terrell, and we're going to get to know her just a little bit more while she's in the hot seat. So please keep on watching.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Edith Thomas, and this is another episode of Talking with E. If you haven't been watching, I am sitting down with the wonderful, most wonderful, I'm finding out, newly appointed Committeewoman Sandra Terrell. Sandra, we are so happy to have you here. You are doing so great in the hot seat. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So we'll dive back in. You gave us a brief background of your history, and you let us know about your education and your goals as Committeewoman. So tell me, coming from a background of healthcare operations and product management, what positive benefits do you think you can bring to the Township Committee?
That's an interesting question, E. I think one of the things that over the years that I've learned in being in the healthcare industry is how to work with people.
Yeah.
How to find out what people really need, what people really want. So my hope is that I can get to know all of the folks that I have to work with, that are part of whatever team that I'm going to be part of. Get to know them, get to listen to them, get to hear their thoughts, and just kind of understand what they're thinking, what they think is important, right? Because it's not about me. It really is about what the community is thinking. So my hope is that I can, from my experience from managing people for many, many years, which is another thing I think people don't really fully understand how difficult that is, right? So, I always say people have a title of manager or whatever, but if you really don't take the time to learn how to manage people, it's not as simple as just having a title. I think that over the years, and it took time to learn that skill. I'm hoping that I can bring that skill to the township, to the different committees, work with people, figure out what it is they want, figure out how to execute, because that's another important thing. It's one thing to say, we want to do this, but if you don't have the skills to execute on what it is you want, then you don't get there. So, again, something I've learned over time, how to execute, how to get the job done. And so I hope I add value from that perspective. I really just want to be a partner to the community, to the folks that are on the committee, to everyone here in Town Hall, wherever I can offer my assistance, my guidance, my knowledge, my experience, I'm willing to do that. And on the flip side, I'm willing to sit back, listen, and learn, because that's just as important. I can't come in here thinking I have all the answers, because I don't. I don't have all the answers. I need to understand this operation so that I can then apply my skills and we can do good things.
Oh, I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And I honestly think you're on the right path so far, because even hearing you speak on it, like you mentioned, it's not about just coming in and saying, I know what I need to do. And it's not about having the title of a boss. A good boss, a good leader knows how to lead, to educate those who work underneath them, and how to work and execute. So, Andrea, I think you're on the right path.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It means a lot. It really does.
Of course. And I love to hear that, because knowing that we're going to work well with each other, I know it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. Good. Okay, so as you mentioned, working with whatever team you will be working with, you now oversee community development, public works, and the building department. So how do you see yourself working with these departments and becoming more involved with them?
So as I said, the first step for me, and this is a way that I've guided my career, is to get in and get to know the people, right? So for each of those departments, who are the people that work there? What's important to them? What's working? What's not working? What would you like to see change? It's not me coming in and saying, we're going to change this, we're going to change this, because, they have processes and procedures that have been established for a long time. So, it's not my role to come in and say, we need to change things. I want to get in and get to know these people. I want to understand what they need from me, what their expectations are of me. And I want to be able to deliver on those expectations. So for each of those departments, it's just taking the time to get to know the department, how the department works, if there are opportunities to identify efficiencies, things that we can change, easy things, hard things, that's what we do. But it's, again, a process. It's not day one, we're going to do this. It's let me find out from you what you need, and then let's work together to give you that.
Exactly. And I can attest to that because I believe you were recently at DPW seedling tree giveaway. Yeah, so I watched the interview and I was like, she's listening. She's taking a step back and she's listening.
Yep.
She's watching. How did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed that. I think that's another good thing. It's interesting, and I'll share this about myself. I go home and I talk to my husband about all of these events that I've been attending. And he says to me, look at you becoming a civic-minded person. So that tree seedling giveaway, that's a great thing. I actually went to work. I talked about it at work. People could not believe that our town, the Township of Union, actually does that. A wonderful, wonderful thing. So, I had a lot of questions about how long have we been doing it, and it was great to see people come out and be excited about it.
Exactly.
People wanted to take those trees and plant those trees. So that was one step in my journey to get to know the Department of Public Works. Exactly. And so many more steps to come. But it was great. It was a great opportunity.
And I hear that we're going to have more.
We're going to have more. We're going to plan one. I think September, we're going to have another one.
Look out, guys.
Yeah, look out. Look out. It's a great thing. Come get your trees.
Exactly. So, and it's become greenery. Look at that.
Yes.
It's all coming back. It's all coming back. So before I let you go and we finish up here, what is your last final words, your last message that you'd love to convey to all of our Union residents watching?
So, I know I said this earlier, but again, Union is a great town. I so much appreciate the opportunity to serve on the Township Committee. I really want to continue the tradition of doing good things for this town. As residents, as a resident, I believe that we deserve it, right?
Agreed.
We pay taxes. We're good neighbors. So I want to keep up that tradition of just doing good things and continuing to make this community better, this township better. We're great already, but that doesn't mean we can't be greater. So that's really what I want to accomplish.
Oh, I love that. Well, you guys heard it from Committeewoman Terrell. She wants you to come on out. If you have any questions, listen, she's here to listen.
I am here to listen.
Concerns, she wants to get to know you. You heard it from her. She wants to get to know you. So come on out to the events that we are having.
Yes.
To our meetings. Meet Committeewoman Sandra Terrell. She is fabulous, let me tell you. Sitting down in my chair for the first time, I can't wait to have you back again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure.
It has been.
And everyone at home, of course, everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you tune in for another great episode of Talking with E. We'll catch you guys next time.